Live streaming is on.
Okay, so we had stopped over here. We shall be providing a password just as we create a password for our login account. Click on I have read and agree the terms of use and then click on create. Click on next. Now these secret words are very important since I would not be using this account for transactions in the main network. So I am disclosing my secret keywords which are very important to recover my account. So you should be very careful if you are using these this account for your actual transaction on the Ethereum mainnet. So you should not be revealing these secret words because whosoever has access to these words they can recover your account. Okay, click on next. So what I would do is I would just paste this. Just a second. On notepad because I would be using the sequence is important. So now on the screen, I have to provide these words in the same sequence it has been provided in these secret words, right? So my first word is inhale, stamp duty, atom. Inhale, stamp duty, atom. Next is victory, drama, erosion, sweet. Victory, drama, erosion, sweet. Next is divide, mountain, tortoise, animal. Divide, mountain, tortoise, animal. Right? I have to maintain that sequence. Click on confirm and see this screen you would be getting where you would be greeted with a congratulations. Yes, your account is all done, all set. So you can see the new account is created for me, but this Ethereum mainnet, we would not be working on the Ethereum mainnet because this requires actual ethers, right? So what we would do is we shall be using the test networks. So for the test network, go to advanced. Here you shall see the option show the test networks. Okay, just switch it on, close this, and you see these are the test networks which are provided by MetaMask to use for our development purpose, to use for our testing purpose. Okay, so let's try to acquire some test ethers and select the first option, that is the Robston. Click on buy, click on get ether. If I'm lucky enough, I would not get any error because many times this faucet is creating problem. Let's see. If everything goes well, then it will show my transaction over here and I would get one ether into my account. See. So this is going to turn into a success and I would be getting one ether into my faucet. Let's close it. I'll wait for some time till my transaction becomes through. So by that time I create one more account over here. Suppose I create account 2. Okay. So let me go back to account 1. In a short while, one Robston ether would be posted over here. Yes, just see, I have one ether. Now suppose if I want to do transaction with this ether, so I've created an account to just see my account is having a balance 0, right? So I can send some ethers into my second account by clicking on send and I click on transfer between my accounts. I click on account 2 and here I type say 0.001 because my first account is having only one ether. Click on next, click on confirm, and wait for your transaction to be through. Okay, so once the transaction is through, just see from my first account some ethers have been transferred into my second account. On this ball you have to click and just see we have seen a transaction taken place from account 1 to account 2, right? So this is how you can do transaction. You can buy and you can send. These are all for test purpose, not the actual ethers we are dealing with. And suppose if I want to transfer ethers to some other's account who is also on Robson, that is also possible. How I can do this is if I click on send and if I paste the public address over here, right? So if I have somebody else's public address over here, account address over here, I can paste it over here and then I can click on send. Okay, so this is the address, this is my public address. So if I share this address with anyone else, that person, some other person can also send me some ethers, right? So if I want to send you some ethers, so I need your public address, and when I click on send I need to paste it over here. Okay. So this is all about, we were discussing about the basics of blockchain, and we have seen one crypto wallet also. That crypto wallet is MetaMask. In this MetaMask, we have used the test network option. Similarly, there are other test networks as well, but there are some issues going on right now, so it becomes difficult to acquire test ethers in these accounts. But Robston is nicely providing us one ether. Robston was also facing some problems, so we had to resort to some other measures to acquire test ethers. So I hope you have learned a lot in this webinar. So my session ends over here, where we have discussed about basics of blockchain, types of blockchain, what a crypto wallet is, and what a cryptocurrency is, and how we can acquire test ethers into our test account. Thank you for listening me. I request Devupriya ma'am to start her session.
Hello.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. Um, yeah, welcome everybody. I think you have gained some interest about blockchain technology by going through the last two sessions by Krishnapali Kaukhan, Mrs. Krishnapali Kaukhan, and Mrs. Rashmi Vijayvargiya. So, but my session will mainly consist of the use case. So, as there is not much time left for our webinar, so I will not take much time, and I'll start and I will go through one use case. I will demonstrate, I will discuss one use case here so that you will get a good idea about how it can be used, and it will be a Indian use case. So let me start and share my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes, yes,
Yes.
sir.
So the use case that we will discuss for this session is about the land record system. So this one has been implemented in Chandigarh. So why we need, first of all, let us discuss that, and then we'll discuss where blockchain comes into the picture and what we can achieve, the benefits we can achieve by incorporating blockchain into the current process of land records maintenance. prior to blockchain recognition. So, in a brief, this Indian judiciary is actually having I think more than 3 crore cases, which is related to dispute about land and property titles, and it has been estimated like a really big amount, like USD 700 million. This much amount has been given and taken in bribes, and it is exchanged at registered offices across the country. And there are some CAG reports also, like more than 1 lakh cases are pending, which is related to again property registration. And this is we are talking about in the year 2015. So, keeping in mind in all these things about land records, so digitization of land records, this was proposed across all states, and it started in 2008, in the year 2008. This process started to integrate all the three departments, digitize all the physical records, and synchronize the records. And this is called Digital India Land Records Modernization Program in a brief. So, what we are going to see today is one such use case, which has been taken up by Niti Aayog. And before we go into details, first let us understand what are the main points or main pain points or issues that was there prior to blockchain. So as you can see in the screen, we have these four main points. The first one is establishing ownership over land. So, how ownership comes in land? It comes through inheritance or gift or purchase and relinquishment. Okay, so in India, the property ownership is documented through a registered sale deed. When you are purchasing something, you as a buyer, then it becomes your responsibility to verify the records of the land. Okay, so the purchaser needs to verify all the credentials, the ownership of status of the seller, whether the land is disputed or not. Everything it is the headache of the purchaser to find all these things. Next point we have is poor maintenance of land records. So, government authorities like registers and revenue offices, they actually maintain these records, and they maintain the ownership, they maintain the transfer of ownership, everything. Now, official land surveys conducted by the states, they are very much irregular. And before transfer of property, when somebody is purchasing that, so that becomes a transfer of property. So the purchaser or the buyer often has to through get to the office and go through a huge pile of documents. If the property is old, then there will be a lot of documents involved with that particular property. So, as we mentioned in the first point itself, that it is responsibility of the purchaser. So, he has to go through all the documents to verify the information. And many times it happens that due to the poor maintenance, as it is maintained in a physical format, and due to many factors like natural calamity or something, fire, for example, sometimes the records get destroyed and there is no way of getting back the records. So this is a problem, like to get the details of the land through those records, that becomes a problem many times. The next point we have is high amount of litigation. So discrepancies and disputes over land records, it's a very common thing, and in our a huge number of courses are sorry a huge number of cases are still pending, and you can find it out in our judicial and administrative forums also. Okay, court cases, there are plenty of court cases that are pending and that are actually going on, which is related to the ownership or something related to the land records. Next, we have asynchronicity of information. So, registers which are held by different agencies, they get updated by them, and it is not always that they get updated at the same time. So, some information gets updated in one office, but the same information, the same change is not reflected in some other office. So, that creates a problem sometimes. So moving on to the solution. So what happens is this NITI Ayog, uh, along with its technology partner, made a survey of the as-is process in the Union Territory of Chandigarh. Okay, they created a process flow to identify the part of the process which which is having the potential to be better if blockchain is introduced in those processes, those part of the processes. Okay, so apart from the digitization of the records, everything, every land record is actually digitized over there right now. So they started that along with the digitization, incorporation of blockchain was also a aim of this project. And next, they developed the prototype for that. So there are a few principles on which this solution is mainly based on. First one is the mirror principle, then we have curtain principle, then we have indemnity principle. So we'll go through about them briefly one by one. So what is mirror principle is that the land records register, it mirrors or reflects the accurate details of all registered land assets. That is one principle, the mirror principle. Next one is the curtain principle. It means that the recorded facts about the assets, they are sufficient and they don't require a trail of documents regarding the ownership of the land. And lastly, we have the indemnity principle. So, the state provides compensation in case of error has made by the state block. So, while this project was going on, so if suppose state has made some mistake, in that case, the state is going to provide a compensation. That is the thing about this indemnity principle. So, a blockchain-based land registry system, it ensures this first two principles by design. Of course, because mirror principle and curtain principle, it is inherent part of the blockchain. If we go for blockchain, then it will be there. But this third principle, which is the indemnity, it is implemented by the state once the record system has gained a critical or substantial confidence on the data and transaction integrity, then it is going to implement this indemnity principle. Okay. Basically, it means that when the system will become uh, well first and it is proven that the system is almost proper and correct, it gives proper result and we are able to use it properly, then the state will implement this indemnity principle once we are confident about the mirror principle and curtain principle. So the what are the different other benefits of scaling up? What we mean by scaling up is going further. So we talked about these principles. So prototype was based on these principles, and if we scale up, we have this following benefits. So First one is conclusive tilting. Second, we have is reduction in litigation. Of course, it will happen, and then we have to stimulate land purchase, because if it becomes easy, it becomes transparent, then more person will be willing to go for this kind of transaction related to land. If somebody wants to sell, somebody wants to buy, then the market will be better. So it will be the ease of doing business, that index will go up, and then of course, it will also increase the transparency in the system. So these are the main partner nodes. First we have title holder of the property, then we have the purchaser, then partner node means who are involved in this process, in which blockchain has been implemented. In that process, who are the stakeholders? So here we are talking about the stakeholders present. So we have title holder of the property or the owner. Then we have the purchaser who is going to buy that property. We have government register. We have government revenue office. We have land survey office. Then we have real estate regulatory authority. We have financial institutions. Again, we have regulatory authority for monitoring purpose. Then we have real estate companies or appraisers. And lastly, we have insurance providers. So these are all the partners or stakeholders in the blockchain enabled system for land record maintain. So I will end my presentation here. So this was the brief discussion about one particular use case related to land records belonging to our country, India. So I hope that it gave you some brief overall. The all the three sessions gave you some brief idea and some starting the understanding of blockchain technology, where you can start to go for some other courses. And at the beginning, sir talked about one course that we have launched. So I'll share the poster and details of that course in the WhatsApp group, and I will provide the link and details through mail also. Kindly go through it, because if you find the blockchain technology interesting enough after going through this webinar, then I encourage you to uh, log in and register over there and get a certificate, because as you know, like blockchain is a hot cake right now. So if you get confident in that particular technology, then it will be helpful for your career and in future job prospects also. So I will end here. Over to you, Rashmi.
Okay. So I thank all the trainers today for providing a session on blockchain, and I also thank the listeners, the participants who have attended this webinar. And since this is a YouTube link, those who are part of the WhatsApp group, they can follow this link and they can go through our webinar. So thank you once again from NIELIT Kolkata. See you again for our next session. Thank you. Bye for now. Yeah, Devra, I would request you to stop the live.